Many children and families living with HIV may be experiencing some extremely difficult circumstances. When support from family, community members, friends is not enough, support from services such as health and social services may also be needed. A needs assessment can be an important starting point for support work with children and their family. A comprehensive needs assessment should enable you to gain a full understanding of the child's life in a whole range of areas. It means you are able to appreciate all aspects of their lives and identify their needs. We might understand needs as something which, if they weren't met, it would result in a negative impact on the development, the health and the well-being of the child. Clearly, needs can be prioritised. Basic physical human needs for survival have to be met first before other needs related to emotional and psychological well-being can be met. It can be helpful to think in terms of priorities of needs. For example, if an adolescent is struggling to adhere to their medication, but they don't have a secure home and they don't have regular access to meals, they're not in a position to address their medication adherence. Their basic physical needs for survival are not being met. It can also be helpful to think about needs in relation to their context. So we might think about a child's needs in relation to their family, their community, their culture or their faith, their economic circumstances, and also the political context. So when we assess a child's needs, we're thinking about what are their developmental needs at that particular stage of childhood? Are the parents and carers able to sufficiently meet those needs? Do they have the capacity to meet the child's needs? And what impact is there of the wider community and environment? Many children are living in very insecure environments, there may be civil conflict, and what impact does that have on the child's needs? So having the child at the centre of your needs assessment means their welfare is your main concern. It's important that any work undertaken with children can recognise when children are at risk of harm which is non-accidental, harm which we refer to as child abuse. We can understand child abuse to consist of physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, and also neglect, which is the deliberate lack of provision of basic care. Undertaking a comprehensive needs assessment of a child when you begin working with them means you place the child at the centre of your concern, you're clearly focusing on their interests, and you're focusing on protecting them from harm. It also means you form a relationship with their parent or carer where possible, to gain understanding and information from them. It's very important that children participate in a needs assessment. They're given opportunities to talk about their lives, they're given opportunities to talk about areas of concern. If you're worried that a child is at risk of harm, it's very important that you're able to support that child to tell you about this. The needs assessment enables you to produce a plan for support work on how you will support that child. And, if needed, a plan which helps to protect them from risks of harm. So what would a plan consist of? Well, it's really helpful to have some clearly identified goals. How are you prioritising needs and how are you going to meet those needs? And you're going to place that in order of what you think is most important. It might be helpful to think about timescales and allocating tasks to particular people, including the child and their family where possible. So documenting the needs and documenting a plan for support will really help you maintain a focus on meeting needs and not becoming overwhelmed with the complexities that many children's lives may consist of. It will help you focus on what are the possible solutions and also ensure professional accountability. So, when providing one-to-one support to a child and their family, it's helpful to complete a holistic needs assessment of a child. This will also illustrate if the child is at risk of child abuse. It will help you identify which needs are the current priorities, and it may well be that HIV is not a current priority. Basic physical survival needs will need to be met before other needs such as emotional and psychological well-being can be addressed. Documenting needs assessments and producing a support work plan will help focus your work on achieving solutions and ensure professional accountability.